what's a memory that you know of, like his childhood, that maybe kind of set it where you could see the path that he was going to take, and you just, whether or not if it was military, that serving might, that was just going to be in his future?
Yeah, that's an easy one. I remember he actually got called to the principal's office because one of the teachers on recess called him a playground cop. So he had to have been maybe grade six, maybe. And one of the kids was being bullied on the playground by somebody a little bit older. And the teacher was nowhere in sight, or I'm not sure. Anyway, so John went over to deal with it himself and took matters into his own hands to help this kid out who was being bullied, and get this bully off his back and whatever else. And I can't remember if it actually came to a bit of a shoving match, or if he was just jacking up this kid and got caught by the teacher, or exactly what the details were. Mom will remember to a T. But anyway, him and the bully ended up in the principal's office. And John's like, what the hell is happening?
Justice is this?
So anyway, the bully got dealt with first because that was the more serious of the two, and then John got called into the principal's office, and the principal's like, you can't be a playground cop, like it's not your job, you need to go get a teacher, and da 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 da, whatever. And John's basically explaining to this individual, like, I didn't have time to go get a teacher, right? Like, this kid needed help, and so I helped him, and that should be a good thing, and I shouldn't be in trouble. I did the right thing. And the teacher's like, well, yes, helping somebody is a good thing, but not in the way that you did it. And so he's like, call my dad and try to explain that one to him then. I was like, all right.
Yeah, sometimes the doing the right thing at school just lands you in the same amount of trouble as the bully. But I mean, at the end of the day, you'll feel that wrong, but you also feel the right in it. So
yeah. And that's kind of where John, spent a lot of his time, right? Just because it was socially wrong didn't mean that it was actually wrong. And so, but from that very young age, and I mean, we were kids in the 90s, right? So in the 80s and 90s. So like you grew up playing, cowboys and Indians and cops and robbers and all of those types of things. And now we know that some of those things are not appropriate anymore, but there was always, and John always played that sort of authoritarian person. And so, when he got older and the army started to become more of a thing on his radar, it wasn't surprising at all.
That natural path. It was that day with the bully, he learned how to give a knife hand properly, and something just clicked inside of him. You know what? I might be able to make a career out of doing that to people.
Yes. And he loved it. If he could jack you up for no reason other than to jack you up, that he was in his prime that day.
There are many that are like that. And you start going, this power feels good. Okay. But with great power comes great responsibility. And that's where certain ones don't know how. And the ones that have that bit of that dark humor to it were always the best ones to jack you up, because there was something, I don't know, it was just, there was an insult to it. There was something else to it. There was a little bit of this. Like, you didn't know how to take it, but you're like, I want to laugh, but that's going to get me in more trouble.
Yeah.
So I have to learn to laugh on the inside. And it never really works, because some of them are so good and they practice at whatever lines, and somebody else is getting jacked up, and all of a sudden you giggle, not meaning to, because that was a great roast line. All of a sudden you're like, now it's on me. Hello. Yes, Sergeant. I don't know. You're just the next George Carlin. I don't know. Can I give you a compliment? Is that going to help me? Or, oh, no. It's just made it worse. Ah, perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, and I mean, John was always the type, he'd jack you up at work, but he'd take you for your beer afterwards, right? So he was very good at, and maybe all military guys are like this. I don't know. I'm sure many are, but he was very good at compartmentalizing those things. Work was work, and outside of work was outside of work, and never shall the two, bleed into each other, except for internally for him personally. But I remember when he passed, I started reaching out to some of the names that I knew, or that we had heard of or whatever. And the number of people who were like, huh, I didn't even know Johnny had a sister.
Thanks for your time. Please like, subscribe, and comment to help grow the show. And remember, get back up.